I think this is an amazing event.
I love it over here, and everyone loves sports over here.
It's just an amazing sport.
This is our version of going to the World Cup, even though there's games in town.
Wow is kind of like the word I can say.
It's really good, like, energy here.
It's so super fun.
Come knowing nothing about soccer, leave knowing a little bit more about soccer.
It's fun to play.
To keep kids learning through play.
It feels like happiness and joy is all around me, like Disneyland.
Soccer unites everyone.
Snohomish County is becoming a soccer place.
Okay, Kyle.
We made it.
The finale.
And if you're listening right now, thank you.
Because the show was never just about the matches.
It was all about what it felt like to be here.
In Snohomish County.
In the Puget Sound.
In the group chats, the watch parties, the car rides, the wait, what's offsides moments.
And in this last episode, we're doing 3 things.
We're going to recap the ride.
We're going to talk a little bit about how you can stay involved with soccer within your local area.
And we're going to say a very big thank you. Welcome back to From Pitch to Puget Sound, the practical local guide to experiencing the World Cup summer right here in Snohomish County and the greater Puget Sound region.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Emily.
And as we said before, this is our last episode of this limited run series.
And we want to start with the simplest thing we can say.
Thank you for showing up. You guys are the ones that made this the big event that it was. So a huge shout out to everyone listening to this podcast and attending all of the events.
If you're just joining late, or if you listened week to week and it all blurred together, here's the highlight reel.
This series came from a really simple idea. How do we make the World Cup feel local?
Practical, not precious.
Welcoming, but not gatekeepy.
And we kept coming back to 3 lanes.
1, the visitor and civic side. How to actually participate in such a big event.
2, the soccer history side. How we got here.
And 3, the field reporting. What it ultimately sounded like when everyone was on the ground going crazy.
If you're excited about the World Cup, but you're thinking, okay, how do I do this with kids? This episode is for you.
FIFA World Cup isn't just a tournament landing in Seattle. It's the latest chapter in a story that started back when the sport was still called association football, when teams traveled by boat, when trophies were donated by railroads and tea magnets, and when thousands packed into Woodland Park to watch a winter match.
You can't win a soccer game by being yourself. You need the other 10 players with you on that field to be able to make one unit and come up with a good result. So,
and that's the sound of the whole thing.
Not perfect, not polished, real.
Okay, recap is fun.
But there's another game happening at the same time.
The game behind the game.
Like, how the heck did this whole thing actually come together?
Because from the outside, it looks like the World Cup just arrives.
A little bit like a traveling circus. Better jerseys, maybe less elephants.
But what's really happening is years of planning across cities, agencies, businesses, volunteers, everybody.
And we heard that over and over again with all of the experts, local folks who were all putting this together. This was about coordination.
Transportation, public spaces, safety, wayfinding.
The little things, or sometimes even the big things, that you only notice when it's missing.
We spoke to Dylan Ordoñez, Director of Government and Community Affairs for Seattle FIFA's World Cup 2026. Dylan provided details on all things FIFA and World Cup here in the Puget Sound.
We are the nonprofit local organizing committee tasked with the responsibility of all the planning and execution of our region's responsibility as a host city. We are not FIFA. We work with FIFA. They are in charge of the tournament and everything that happens inside the stadium, secure area. We work with partners in government at all levels, community, to make sure that we are prepared for everything outside the secure area of the stadium. So I have been a part of this World Cup journey since 2017 when I was at King County working for former executive Constantine. Received an email one day asking if, from the Sounders, asking if we could get a letter of support for this 2026 joint bid effort for the World Cup with Canada and Mexico. I said, of course. I'm going to be your point person for anything World Cup related. Fast forward 9 years later, here we are. We won the joint bid in 2018. We became a host city in 2022. And the past 4 years since then have just been a blur, especially this past month. And now here we are at kickoff.
The planning, that's the part that people don't see.
It's like the event is the tip of the iceberg.
And the iceberg is everything leading up to it. Spreadsheets, committees, groups, all those quote unquote fun things leading up to the event.
So many meetings. And one of the biggest local pieces of this was everything outside the stadium.
Those fan zones, the watch party, the community events, you guys showed up.
You showed up to the places where you don't need a ticket to be part of it.
So we did what we could to make sure that as many people as possible across the state would be able to feel a part of this historic experience, a part of this historic event, and have a connection to the organizing committee. So we worked with the 9 largest jurisdictions outside of King County, 9 largest cities, to offer this opportunity of fan zones. And, you know, these cities are the leads. We're partnering and offering kind of that unique stamp of the organizing committee. And we're incredibly grateful for all of the work that the city of Everett, Snohomish County Sports Commission, and many, many others have done to deliver such an amazing event. And we're going to see events like this across the state. Everyone's different. And that's been one of the really neat things about the concept. We've developed an app, See and Win, which encourages visitors and residents alike to go around the city of Seattle to different open spaces, small businesses, arts and culture locations to get out and around the city. We hope that this app model continues on for other large events that will help get people out and around our city and around our region. I know that many of the fan zones have tours in the app as well to showcase small businesses, again, arts, cultural institutions, or green spaces or public spaces that they want to showcase for visitors to their city. So we hope that app continues on in some form and continues to be a tool for community and economic development.
That's what I love. It wasn't, did you go to a match?
It's, did you show up?
Exactly. There were so many ways to show up. If this summer made you feel something like it made us feel something, how do you keep one piece of it?
How do you keep that feeling going without needing some convoluted bracket with complicated numbering systems, a ticket that maybe cost you an arm and a leg? And how do you actually enjoy this when this feels like only a once in every 4 years moment? How do you keep it going?
Yeah, I'm going to miss all of the people that came and visited us. But we have 3 simple lanes.
Here's the easiest way to keep the energy alive. Make it local.
Not someday, not when there's a tournament, just local.
And going out to watch a USL2, UPSL game, these community college games, it's really fun soccer. It's really fun soccer. So I encourage everybody to and take your kids out and go watch local soccer.
That's the move. Find your local team and commit to going to a match in the next season. Or if it's already in this current season, pick one match this month and make it your tradition. Make this a thing that you and your family do, or just you yourself do all the time.
And put it on the calendar like you would anything else you care about. Second, if you're an existing fan, make it easy for other people to get excited about the game with you. Make it easy to learn.
Absolutely. Make this an environment where it's, as always, we've said before, welcoming. The sport really grows when people feel welcome asking all sorts of questions.
I have so many memories of going to games with friends. You know, that's what I remember. And I think that it's just building the group around you. And if you're going to go to, say you don't know anything about it, you know, no one's going to be like, you're dumb. Like, I can't believe you don't know anything about it. They're going to be like, and this is what happens, and this is what happens. Like, you're like that annoying guy in the movie, like, that keeps asking questions, you know, but that doesn't matter because you're still learning the game and you want to be there and you're having fun with your friends.
That's the vibe we want to keep.
Invite one person. One person will make a difference. Be the friend that explains it to them. Make room for people to join. And third, keep an eye on what's being built that lasts beyond this summer.
Because legacy sounds abstract until it's something you can literally walk onto.
Legacy is a huge part of what we're doing. We were for a long time. I believe there might be one other city now, or one other host city, but we have a chief legacy officer, Leo Flor. He and his team have been working on so many different projects to make positive, lasting impact in our community, right? We want to ensure that this experience imprints on, you know, today's 8-year-old for the next generation, right? We want to inspire more soccer players. We believe that access to play is a right. So we did partner with the Sounders charitable arm, the Rave Foundation, early on to support their goal of installing mini pitches around the state, 26 mini pitches by 2026. I think possibly around 2024, maybe early 2025, that goal was reached. And so we decided to double it. So 52 mini pitches by 2026. And I believe we've achieved that goal. And I don't know that they're all installed, but there are commitments and plans to ensure that those pitches come to fruition.
That's the point. A pitch, a program, a habit.
Absolutely. And we talked a lot about this. These events took a lot of effort. So it's fantastic that these have lasting impacts beyond just this one moment. And if you're in a community group, a coach, or a business, support the stuff that makes soccer easier to enter.
Okay, the thank you list.
This is the part where we try not to get too emotional and then immediately do.
Just a little, like responsible levels of sentimental.
Exactly. Only a few tears. Because this series happened because a lot of people in this local community said yes.
And because a lot of people did invisible work.
So we want to name it.
First, thank you to the Snohomish Podcast Network folks for backing this limited run series and helping us get it into the world, showing up on those match days and getting to know the community with us.
You guys on the ground are what made this truly a special podcast. Without you guys, we wouldn't have gotten those fantastic clips at the World Cup trophy ceremony while we were on site at the local watch parties. So thanks to each one of those unique individuals.
Thank you to our guests who gave us their time and their expertise.
Tammy Dunn and the Snohomish County Sports Commission, thank you for making the How to Participate side real and practical.
Tyler Chisholm and the City of Everett, thank you for the civic context and the on-the-ground planning.
Thank you to our local Port of Everett partners for helping connect the dots on what visitors actually experience.
Thank you, Peter Hatchup, for the history, the heart, and the reminder that soccer stories start small.
Thank you to Washington State Legends of Soccer for connecting us with Peter and for being a deep wealth of Washington soccer history.
And thank you to Alex Coe and the Sound Transit team for the practical How We Move side of this summer.
And also a special shout out to a few people who honestly represent the whole theme of this show, making it easier to belong and easier to jump in.
Thank you to Katie Leone from Snow Isle Libraries and Dr. Ely Wood from Imagine Children's Museum.
Thank you, Jamie French Bialek from the Snohomish Sports Dome.
Cheryl Rose from Soccer Post Northwest.
And Wendy Poischbag from the Greater Everett Chamber of Commerce.
We appreciate you. Thanks for helping build the on-ramps.
Thank you to every business, community group, and organizer who made room for people to gather around this fantastic event.
And thanks to you, the listener.
If you shared an episode, sent us a note, or brought a friend into the sport, thank you, and you're the ones that made this all worth it.
And that's the whole point. Okay, one last thing before we go.
We wanted to end this series with a little salute.
Because if there's one thing we heard again and again,
it's that these big events don't just live in stadiums.
They live in the stories people carry.
So here's Peter Hatchup again. He talked about this in the very beginning, talking about what it feels like to be in a big city during a big global event. This was, of course, related to the Olympics, but it still plays here. Wandering around, hearing different languages, and realizing you're part of something bigger.
So when the Olympics happened up in Vancouver, I didn't have tickets. We're going up. We'll figure out if we can get tickets someplace, but otherwise we're just going to go experience it. And it was just great to wander around Vancouver, wander around, mingle with all the people from different countries and the atmosphere and the excitement. And I think people should embrace this and embrace the different cultures, embrace the atmosphere and the fun, because it's, for most of us, it's going to be a once in a lifetime occurrence. Most of us, especially we get older, we don't regret things we did as much as regret the things that we didn't do. And I think not getting on board and just diving into it and enjoying it is something I think people would regret later in life.
So hearing that, Emily, I know that made me realize how much of an opportunity this was. And I'm glad we had a chance to participate in it. Like, it was a fantastic event. I don't know what your experience was, but this was a life-altering, life-sustaining event of, oh my gosh, this is something I'm going to tell my kids about.
Yeah, I think life-sustaining is exactly the word for it. everything that Peter Hattrip said came to fruition. I pulled in on light rail. It was the same episode where Alex Coe was sharing as well, and everything that they were talking about, everything they dreamed and they imagined, and how many people were going to be on that train. The whole process was exactly that. You walk out and you just saw the lead up into the stadium. You saw people just excited, and exactly what he said, meeting people from different communities, watching people dribble the ball, together from all over wearing different jerseys. It was really magical, and it was exactly as other people said, it was fantastical having so many of those people in our community. And I think you could see that on social media too. Even if you didn't have a chance to go there, you saw all of these people just connecting with one another and inspiring and hopeful. And we had the opportunity to meet so many people from different places just here in Everett at the waterfront. That was really exciting. So everything he said, it all came true. As I was listening to Peter Hattrip and going through this again, when we re-listened to the episode, I felt exactly what he was talking about. And I don't think we had any regrets.
I certainly hope not. And this is why, as someone who has played soccer and frankly is a soccer lover, this is why I love this sport, because it's the sport that unites so many people across all walks of land. It's unique compared to American football, basketball, baseball. Certainly those sports do unite, and they are pretty good about that, especially as they grow. But there's something special about soccer or football. It's a sport that is so unique, and you saw a small country of Cabo Verde going up against the behemoths and Goliaths of Argentina, and fans joining hands with each other. You saw England going into the heart of Mexico and enjoying a fantastic soccer game. You saw all sorts of countries from Asia, from Africa, from South America, Europe, North America, from small islands to big countries, all gathering to enjoy an event. And that's one of those things that there's very few events that are like this. I know Peter Hattrip mentioned the Olympics. The World Cup is one of those things. And I'm glad we had a chance to experience it here in Washington. I'm hopeful that we get another chance to experience that. I keep hearing rumblings that there is a chance that World Cup might come back to the US, at least in our lifetime. And hopefully we do. But it was definitely a once in a lifetime experience. It was one of those where listening to people in my office talk about soccer who no one cares about soccer, and being able to share, this is who Lionel Messi is, and this is who Erling Haaland is, and this is the dude that has flowing mane hair, and Kylian Mbappe, and all these random people, right? It's a way to bond as a community. And I'm so glad that we got to experience it. And I hope it leads to more. I'm hopeful that it leads to people latching on to their local soccer, because I think that's the one thing that, if that's the biggest takeaway for me from this whole thing, is if you found any kind of excitement from this event beyond just, ooh, it's a big hoopla, which I get, like that's a cool thing. But if you have anything more than that, tap into your local community, because that makes such a big difference in this. That is how this sport grows, is by supporting your Snohomish United, your local USL 2-1 team, your USL women's team, the Seattle Sounders, the Seattle Reign FC. Those are the ways to keep this momentum going into the next World Cup and beyond.
I definitely feel like I came out of this changed. I came into it being like, I don't really care about soccer. I don't really care about any of this, whatever, sports, cool. I like the civic side. But I truly did come out of this being interested in soccer. I got excited to watch the games when I got home. My spouse, who not really a soccer fan either, I heard him yelling Messi the other day, and it cracked me up. But he's just as into it and getting just as upset about yellow cards and red cards and all of the news that comes with it. He's sending me all these clips as well online. So you got, two fans right there that just going into it, we never thought that we would be that interested in soccer like we are with baseball and everything else. But now we're in, and I think we're going to get some season tickets to some games coming up here because we don't want it to end.
That's exciting. And honestly, you don't need to overthink it. As you just said, Emily, just show up, just lean in, just go to one more event. Keep the momentum going, because at the end of the day, that's going to make the big difference.
So here's our final question.
What do you, as our listeners, want to keep?
A moment,
A tradition,
a community.
that reason to show up.
If you want to stay connected with the Snohomish Podcast Network, check the show notes for links.
And if you've discovered a local soccer tradition or a place that felt like home throughout this World Cup journey, send it to us.
We'd love to hear what you're carrying forward.
And again, thanks for being here. One more time.
See you out there
on the pitch.
Quick note, this podcast is independent and not affiliated with or endorsed by FIFA or the FIFA World Cup.